Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Anuja, and welcome to the valedictory session. It's already, we are getting late, and welcome all once again. And to chair this session, I call upon Dr. Kalpana Bhargava, Scientist F from HEMRL DRDO. Madam, are you there?
Yes, I am there.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Welcome to you. And Dr. Sushil Kumar Singh, Scientist F, SSPL DRDO, Delhi. Sir, are you there? Sushil Kumar Singh. Dr. Sushil Kumar Singh, sir, are you there?
He may join later because I think he's busy with some work, official work at Manali. So he said he will join later.
Okay, no problem, ma'am. We shall start, shall we? Kalpana, ma'am?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Dr. Kalpana Bhargava,
Yes,
presently.
Priyanka,
I just briefly introduce you, ma'am. Welcome to the session. Dr. Kalpana Bhargava, presently scientist F in HEMRL DRDO lab. Madam has almost 30 years of research experience in antioxidant peptides, antimicrobial peptides, mitochondrial biology, and many things. She has got 75 international peer-reviewed journal publications, 1 book, 2 book chapters, and many more things to her contribution. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Ma'am, I just request you to formally welcome our chief guest, Shri Sanjeev Kumar Vashne. Vashne sir, are you there?
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining. And this is a floral, your welcome from STE. Just accepted virtual welcome we are giving.
Thank you.
And I request Kalpana ma'am to please introduce sir and welcome her formally. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Priyanka. First of all, I would like to thank the whole team of ST for giving me this opportunity to be part of this, like grand conference, which I loved it like for last 2 days. I think it has been an enriching experience. And now I would like to welcome our chief guest for the session, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Vashne. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Vashne is a scientific officer with Government of India, working with Ministry, Department of Science and Technology. Since 1990, presently he is working as an advisor and head International Bilateral Division of the department and is responsible for facilitating bilateral scientific cooperation of India with partner countries. He has worked as counselor, science and technology with Embassy of India in Moscow to facilitate bilateral scientific cooperation between India and Russia during April 2008 till June 2011. He has been contributing to promotion of international scientific cooperation as well as scientific industrial cooperation. Mr. Vashne is actively involved in financial planning of the group. Mr. Vashne completed his MSc Geology in 1984 from Aligarh Muslim University and was awarded University Medal for obtaining first position. He has also pursued research at University of Delhi during 1985 to 90 on Himalayan river system, sedimentation, diagnetic and tectonic modifications. He was awarded Dr. D.N. Walia Research Fellowship in 1986 for his research on Himalayan geology. He is a life member of Geological Society of India, Nepal, Bangalore, and Nepal Geological Society, Kathmandu, and member of International Association of Sedimentologists, Oxford. He also has numerous certifications to his credit. Mr. Vashne also taught at the Kurukshetra University in 1990. So without much delay, I would like to once again welcome Mr. Vashne. Thank you for being part of the ST conference. And sir, I would like to request you to address the gathering and of course facilitate with the award to the awardees. Thank you so much.
Namaskar. Dr. Kalpana Bhargavaji from HEMRL, Pune. Professor Barar from York University. Professor Anju Srivastava, Principal, Hindu College, University of Delhi. My good friend, Dr. Shipra Mishra, convener of the EWASH and president of the group Save the Environment. Dr. Priyanka Sharma, organizing secretary of the EWASH. First of all, my congratulations to the EWASH team and also to the Save the Environment for actively organizing interaction on environment related issues. And this is the second annual meet where we have, and I'm too happy to be participating in both the annual meeting besides number of other activity. I thought for today, I would be talking about major environmental challenges being faced by all of us, by the citizen of this planet. So it's not only that India is facing this issue, but people around the world have been facing issues which are bothering, not only bothering, but also spoiling the atmosphere, the ambience, the environment of our Mother Earth. And this is the time when we need to correct. I thought major environmental challenges are, first of all, poor governance, food waste, biodiversity, plastic pollution, deforestation, air pollution, agriculture, fossil fuels, melting ice caps, food insecurity, and last but not the least, overpopulations. So I will dwell upon each one of them for a brief. Of course, I'm sure all the group members are fully aware about these challenges. So what we see is that climate is changing, but this crisis is not single pointed. There are multiple points on which we have to take into account. Economists and environmentalists have been urging policymakers for years to increase the prices of the activities that emits greenhouse gases, which is one of the biggest environmental challenge. And lack of this constitute largest market failure. For example, through carbon taxes, if we could introduce, which will stimulate innovation in low carbon technology. Of course, there are a lot of talks about carbon sequestrations and to cut emissions quickly and effectively, but government should massively increase funding for green innovations. And that is what we have been doing, but still I feel a lot of efforts are required to bring down the cost of low carbon energy sources, which are ready to be adopted a range of other policy that address things. And then if we feel that organization like United Nations will do it, then I'm sorry, I do not agree with that, because UN was never mandated to comply with any such suggestion or recommendations. And if we talk about Paris Agreement on climate change, so several countries may say that there has been an agreement to cut greenhouse gas emissions so that global temperature could be arrested. But signing on it is a voluntary and there are no repercussions for non-compliance. So that is a major challenge which we need to address, that if it remains voluntary and if its compliance is not mandatory, how we are going to do. And further, there is a issue of equity, because there is a difference between developed country and developing countries, how much they can emit and what could be their targets. So this is a major challenge which we need to address. Coming to food waste, which is a something very interesting, that a third, nearly one third of the food intended for human consumption, which is around 1.3 billion tons, is wasted or lost. And this wasted food is good enough to feed 3 billion people. Food waste and food loss accounts for nearly 4.4 gigatons of greenhouse gas emission annually. And if it was a country, food waste would be third highest emitter of greenhouse gases behind China and US. Food waste and loss occur at different stages in developing and developed country. In developing country, 40% of the food waste occurs at the time of post-harvest and processing level, while in the developed country, this waste occurs at retail or at consumer level. You would be surprised, I think, some of you who have not been to Europe or America, especially America, lot of food is rejected only because of aesthetic reason, because it's not looking good or it is too ugly to be sold. And the US annual food loss because of such region is about 60 million tons. And this food, as we said, is good enough to feed many countries in Africa. So this is another environmental problem which we have to look at. Third thing I would like to say is about biodiversity losses. You know, in Hindi we say Atma ajar hai, amar hai. So which implies that number of souls in this earth would remain the constant. What we have seen in last 50 years, that there have been lot of increase, not only in human consumption, population, global trade, and urbanization, resulting into um, cutting down the earth resources. So we have lost lot of animals and plants. These animals could be mammals, fish, birds, reptiles, amphibians. And if you see last 50 years, nearly 68% of the populations, animal populations have come down in terms of number of animals. And these report attribute to biodiversity loss to a variety of factors, but main reason is land use changes, particularly conversion of habitats like forest, grassland, mangroves into agricultural system. Animals such as pangolins, sharks, seahorses are significantly affected by illegal wildlife trade. And pangolin out of these are critically endangered. More recently, it has been found that nearly 1/6 mass extinction of wildlife on Earth is accelerating. 500 species of land animals are on the brink of extinction and are likely to be lost in next 20 years. The same number um, that were lost in the whole century. So we would lose them in next 20 years. Now, it's a question that nature has created all of these. Why men cannot live in coexistence with nature. And if we see the food cycle, all the animals, all the creatures developed by the nature are mutually interdependent. But somehow man would like to maintain its supremacy, and it doesn't care that if it is killing some animals, or even some of the animals are being extinct. Other serious issue which we are facing is plastic pollution. Uh, just to give you an statistic, in 1950, globally, the plastic pollutions was about 2 million ton of plastic every year. And in 2015, that is 65 years after that, it has swelled to 419 million tons. That's the kind of impact we have been using plastic in a way and then throwing it and it's not getting decomposed and plastic waste are increasing. So we have got, as per nature, 11 million tons of plastic makes its way into the ocean, harming wildlife habitat and the animals and the marine animals that live in it. Research has been found that if no action is taken, this will grow to nearly 29 million metric tons per year by 2040. That is another 20 years. And if we include microplastics into this, the cumulative amount of plastic in the ocean could be 600 million tons by 2040. National Geographic has said that nearly 91% of the plastic that has ever been made has not been recycled, representing not only the biggest environmental problem of our lifetime, but another massive market failure. Considering that plastic takes 400 years to decompose, it will be many generations until it ceases to exist. Coming to another challenge, deforestation. Every minute, forests of the size of nearly 20 football fields are being cut down. And by 2030, that is another 10 years, planet may have only 10% of its current forest if deforestation is not stopped. And surprisingly, agriculture is the leading cause for deforestation. And another environmental problem, land is cleared to raise the livestock or to plant other crops that are sold, such as sugarcane and palm oil. And beside for the carbon sequestration, forests help to prevent soil erosion because the tree root bind the soil and prevent it from washing away, which also prevent landslide. At least 3 countries are experiencing highest level of deforestation, and these are Brazil, Congo, and Indonesia. Indonesia somehow is handling, they have got some deforestation plan, but still challenge is quite high. Next, we could talk about air pollution. All of us have seen, especially those who are from Rai region, that how it was just before COVID, after COVID, and now. And you can imagine how it has been going. So WHO has estimated that nearly 4.2 million people die because of air pollution globally, and 9 out of 10 people breathe air that contains high level of pollutants. So no corner of the earth, no part of the earth is escaped from the air pollution. It is only how much we are inhaling polluted air. So this comes mostly from the industrial sources and motor vehicles, as well as emission from burning biomasses and poor air quality due to dust storm. So in northern India, these 3 industrial sources and motor vehicles and burning of biomass, they are forming the major region. In the wake of COVID, attention has been put on the role that air pollution has in its transporting the virus molecule also. You might have seen that Delhi has also got a spurt when it became suddenly very polluted, air quality became very low. So there is a positive correlation between COVID-19 related mortalities and air pollution. And there is also a plausible association of airborne particle assisting the virus spread. There could have been a high death toll in China, where air quality is notoriously poor, although more definitive studies must be conducted before we could draw such conclusions. This is the only time we had experienced it, so that's the feeler. Now, agriculture have shown that global food system is responsible for nearly one-third of all human-caused greenhouse gas emission, of which 30% comes from livestock and fisheries. Crop productions releases greenhouse gases such as nitrous oxide through the use of fertilizer. 60% of the world global area is dedicated to cattle ranching, although it makes up only to 24% of global meat consumption. Agriculture not only covers a vast area of land, but it also consumes a vast amount of fresh water. Another one of the environmental problem. So while arable land and grazing pastures cover one-third of the Earth's land surface, they consume nearly three-quarters of Earth's limited freshwater resources. Scientists and environmentalists have been continuously warning that we need to rethink on our current food system. Switching to more plant-based diet would dramatically reduce carbon footprint of the conventional agriculture industry. Our fossil fuel are also causing global warming. So nearly 410 ppm of carbon dioxide may cause a rise of about 0.89 degrees Celsius. That's a estimate uh, made recently. Increased emission of greenhouse gases have caused temperature to rise, which are causing catastrophic events all over the world. Just this year, Australia experienced one of the most devastating bushfire season ever recording. Locust swarming across Africa, Middle East, Asia, even India, decimating crops. Scientists warning that the planet has crossed a series of tipping points that could have catastrophic consequences. Microplastic being found in Arctic ice, and first wave of heat wave. First time a heat wave has been recorded in Antarctica that shows the temperature rise of 20 degrees for the first time. Warning of advancing permafrost melts in Arctic regions are already there. Greenland ice sheet has been melting at an unprecedented rate, and news of accelerating mass extinction, increasing deforestation in Amazon rainforest. So these are challenges. We are losing Arctic cap, and Arctic water is increasing. There is an average increase of about 3.2 millimeter per year, and it is expected that by the end of this century, year 2100, we will have a total rise of seawater by a factor of nearly 2 meters. This is a challenge which we need to address today. Food and water security are also interrelated. Rising temperature and unsustainable farming practices have resulted in increased threat for food and water insecurity. Globally, more than 68 billion tons of topsoil is eroded every year at the rate which is 100 times faster than it can naturally be replenished. So laden with biocides and fertilizers, soil ends up in waterways where it contaminates drinking water and protected area downstream. Furthermore, exposed and lifeless soil is more vulnerable to wind and water erosion due to lack of roots and mycelium system that it holds together. A key contributor to soil erosion is over-tilling. Although it increases productivity in the short term by mixing surface nutrient, which is fertilizer, tilling is physically destructive to the soil structure and in the long term lead to soil compaction, loss of fertility, and surface crust formation that worsens topsoil erosion. With global population expected to reach 9 billion people by 2050, Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations has projected that food demand may rise by 70% of today in 2050. And around the world, nearly 820 million people will not get enough food to eat. So it's a serious challenge. And UN Secretary General has said that unless immediate action is taken, it is increasingly clear that there is an impending global food security emergency that could have long-term impact on hundreds of millions of adults and children. He urged the countries to rethink their food system and encourage more sustainable farming practice. In terms of water security, as all of us are aware, that only 3% of the world water is fresh water. And out of these limited fresh water, nearly two-thirds is tucked away in the frozen glacier and not available for use. As a result, nearly 1.1 billion people worldwide lack access to water, and total of 2.7 billion find water scarce for at least a month of the year. By 2025, this would grow to while there are
Vashne sir, you are on mute. Kindly unmute. Yeah, thank you.
So while there are some of the biggest environmental problems plaguing our planet, there are many more that have not been mentioned, including overfishing, urban sprawl, toxic superfund sites, and land uses. And there are many facets that need to be considered in formulating a response to the crisis. That must be coordinated, practical, and far-reaching enough to make enough of difference. Friends, I'm too happy that Save the Environment has been discussing variety of issues in these couple of days and round the year. And we are too fortunate that we are constantly working on issues that has been that are being faced by us as a citizen of this planet. It is our responsibility that we make this planet a place worth living, a planet which could sustain by itself, and that is possible if we go more and more naturally. Thank you.
Priyanka ma'am, are you there?
Yes. Thank you, Vashne sir. I think Kalpana ma'am,
Yes.
we can request. Yes.
Thank you, Vashnaji. Thank you so much for a very good and very enlightening, talk. I think it was very, very informative. So now I would like to request you to give away some very important awards, which is given by STE for achievements in different, like field and various, activities. So now I would, maybe Anuja can display the awards.
Yes, ma'am, sure. So for today, we have among us Dr. Basudev Saha. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, yes, Anuja.
You. So among us, we have Professor Basudev Saha, and in the entire ST fraternity is honored and delighted to felicitate Sir, who is Associate Director at Delaware Energy Institute, University of Delaware, and Adjunct Faculty, University of Delaware, as well as he is also President at Rai Carbon. And in recognition of his distinguished work, in the field of catalysis, energy, and environmental research, carbon upcycling, chemical kinetics, and sustainable chemistry, we are honored to felicitate Sir, the ST International Achiever Award. Sir, your widely acclaimed research, including the development of energy efficient catalytic conversion technologies for production of value added sustainable products and advanced fuels from waste feedstock, has stimulated several utilitarian projects with direct advantage to sustainable environment. Your scientific accomplishments have indeed brought laurels to our nation, and you are truly an exemplary inspiration for chemists working for environment protection and conservation across the globe. So we congratulate you for this award, and I would like to invite you to say a few words. Sir, are you there, Professor Basudev?
Yes, I am here. Thank you, Priyanka.
Congratulations, Dr. Vasudev.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Varshney. I liked your talk.
Thank you.
And thank you, Priyanka, for introducing me with this award. And I also thank this organizing committee, Professor R.K. Sharma as well, for selecting me for this award and for recognizing my work to solve environmental challenges. So if I am allowed, I have a couple of slides to share to introduce this audience about my work to solve the environmental challenges. Is it okay?
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay. So Dr. Varshney already introduced a number of environmental challenges with us. Let me elaborate these three challenges that I am working on. The first is the plastic. It's a huge problem, and you have heard some numbers from him that annually we are producing about 400 million tons of plastic, and about 91% of these post-consumer plastic are not recycled. And about 10% of this plastic, post-consumer plastic, end up in our ocean body. So what happens in the ocean body is that because of the sunlight, UV light, the contaminants in water and salt, this plastic biodegrade in water and form nano-size and macro-size particles. And these particles are being continuously consumed by aquatic animals, fish, and there are a lot of evidence these days that these macro particles and contaminants from water is coming to our food cycle. The next one is the ag waste. You have direct experience in Delhi and North India that in the winter time, because of burning of these ag waste, we get a lot of this pollution in the environment from carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. And as per EPA report, Environmental Protection Agency report, about 24% of global greenhouse gas emission occurs from these burning of this ag waste, and deforestation that already Dr. Varshney mentioned. Another challenge is the carbon dioxide. There are a lot of industrial streams. We are continuously getting carbon dioxide to our environment. Even though there are a lot of carbon capture and sequestration technology exist, but those technology work when the carbon dioxide concentration in the gas is very high. So in September this year, the environmental carbon dioxide concentration was 411 million ppm, which is about 47% higher than post-industrial time. And this resulted in increase in global temperature, average temperature by about 1.1 degrees centigrade. As per Intergovernmental Climate Change Policy, they recommended that the carbon dioxide from air should be reduced by about 10 gigaton per year to go to zero emissions environment. So these are really significant challenges we are facing today. And I have been working for last 12 years to solve some of these problems. So this is the area that I have been working from 2009 when I joined in the chemistry department at University of Delhi as an associate professor. And I think I was one of the first person in India who introduced this chemistry, how to convert ag waste biomass to produce high value products. So it includes a number of 4 boxes here. It's the degradation of waste biomass to make carbohydrates, lignin, and further upgrade those materials into chemicals, fuels, aromatic chemicals, and a lot of high value chemicals. So, nowadays, a lot of these chemicals that I have listed here are commercially available because of a lot of startup companies have started producing such products by using technologies that we develop together globally. In case of plastic valorizations, I have been working towards developing a process intensification approach so that plastic can be collected, they can be separated and processed, and then this plastic can be upcycled to produce the products that we are currently using and producing those from petroleum. So that it's basically a truly upcycling approach. We collect, we process, we upcycle, we produce the smaller molecules, and then we convert the smaller molecules to produce the same plastic with the same quality, so that it will encourage researchers and companies to collect plastic at source before the plastic can go to the environment. Because if there is a value for plastic, or if there is any value for the materials, then people will collect those at source, so that this plastic collected at source can be transferred to companies to upcycle them before the plastic can go to land and water. So this is what I do. I partnered with a number of companies and the university researchers who collect in the plastic. Particularly, one of the things that I have been working is PET plastic, which is more than 50% of total mixed plastic. We make pellet of this from these plastics or flakes, and then I upcycle to make the materials like terephthalic acid or oligomer that can be used as a monomer to make the same plastic again and again with the same quality, so that there is a perfect, circular carbon economy here. And then in case of carbon dioxide, as I said, that a lot of these carbon dioxide capturing technology exist for high concentration of carbon dioxide. And in recent days, the government agencies worldwide, and particularly in USA, is funding the research to collect or capture carbon dioxide from air. The capturing carbon dioxide from air is a challenge because concentration of carbon dioxide in air is very low. So we are developing membrane-based technologies so that we can capture carbon dioxide from air very selectively and with high purity, so that we are not stopping carbon dioxide at source from going to environment, but we can capture carbon dioxide from air in a way that we can achieve the mission of this zero emission target as part of Paris Agreement. So this is where I'm contributing through my research to this conference theme, that is Save the Environment. And thank you, the organizer, again for giving me this award. I'm very delighted. I'm particularly honored, and want to mention Professor R.K. Sharma's name for collaborating with me for last 15 years, I would say. And he is my great mentor when I was in a university, and we talk together almost every month. Thank you, Professor Sharma, for your excellent leadership.
Congratulations, Professor Saha, and thank you very much for
Congratulations.
Yes.
about your work so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr.
Now, moving on
Kalpana, I want to add, I want to add that last year, Trump, US president, included Dr. Saha in the task force, national task force. So
Yeah,
his work is so important. He included his name in task force. So congratulations.
Namaskar.
Great. Congratulations.
दिन में ठीक है.
Thank you, sir.
So now I would like to announce our next category of awards, which is ST Women Excellence Award. And
हाँ, आप ना वो उनको एक चिट्ठी भेजना ना, और मैं लेगा. ओके.
ma'am, is it visible?
Yes, Ananya.
So I request Dr. Reena Jain to. Ma'am, are you there, Dr. Reena Jain?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so our next category is ST Women Excellence Award, and it is our privilege that this award has been bestowed to Dr. Reena Jain, who is Associate Professor at Department of Chemistry, Hindu College, University of Delhi. Ma'am, we are privileged to bestow this award in recognition of your unparalleled contribution.
Sorry to interrupt, Anuja. She is vice principal also, so you have to.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So Dr. Reena Jain, who is vice principal at Department of Chemistry and associate professor at Department of Chemistry, Hindu College, University of Delhi, and we feel honored, ma'am, to felicitate you and bestow the STE Women Excellence Award 2020 in recognition of your unparalleled contributions in the field of green chemistry. Ma'am, your sincere and constant efforts to take up innovative initiatives towards the waste utilization for sustainable waste management and development of green approaches for mitigating soil pollution are a marvelous influence for aspiring researchers. And thus, it is time that we honor you and we congratulate you for this award. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Congratulations, Rina ji.
So much. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have been awarded the Women Excellence Award. I'm really thankful to the jury, to Dr. Shipra Mishra for considering my name for this award. I would also like to thank Professor R.K. Sharma from GCNC, University of Delhi, to give us all the support that is required from time to time so that a fruitful research can be done. I would also like to thank my principal, Professor Anju Srivastav, for always motivating and inspiring me to do more and more of work. I would also like to thank my young colleagues from Hindu College and all my dear students who have really worked whenever I needed them. Thank you all so much. I'm really honored. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Dr.
Congratulations.
Many congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
We are
you.
meeting second time in the day.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank
So
you.
now I would like to announce our second awardee, who is Dr. Rakhi De Sharma.
Change the slide, please.
Ma'am, Dr. Rakhi De Sharma, she is Assistant Professor, Department of Physiology, Belda College, Vidyasagar University. Rakhi ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Ma'am, we are honored and delighted to bestow the ST Women Excellence Award 2020 in recognition of your excellence in research pertaining to human diseases and their molecular basis. Ma'am, your outstanding research, teaching, and management expertise are an asset to the society. And thus, we acknowledge your illustrious endeavors and we are honored again to have you on this platform and thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening to all of you and who are the part of the second annual virtual meeting of ST and EWASH 2020. Thank you goes to the jury member for recognizing my research and scientific contribution in the society and honoring me with the ST Women Excellence Award 2020. It is commendable that an organization values the role of women in science and development. From last 2 days, I am hearing all talks and really I am delighted. And I am deeply honored and humbled to receive this award. Thank you. And my sincere thanks to President Dr. Sipra Madam, although I didn't meet her personally, but I am very much interested to meet her and also the all other stakeholders of this organization and all the members for recognizing climate change and environment degradation as a major threat to life on Earth. And I will be happy to associate with ST to use my expertise working with bacteriophage in Banaras Hindu University. I should thank Professor Maharani Chakravarti, with whom I started my science and learn how to dedicate we women, including completing our family as well as working in science. Thanks to my madam and all other teachers with whom I learn so many things and how to give service to society. So my special thanks to chairpersons of this session, Dr. Kalpana Bhargav and Sushil Kumar Singh. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Congratulations, Rakhi.
Thank you, Kalpana.
Congratulations once again, Dr. Rakhi Sharma. Now our next awardee in this category is Dr. Sandhya Mishra, who is Associate Professor at NREC College, Khurja, CCS University, Ma'am, we are honored and delighted to bestow the ST Women Excellence Award 2020 in recognition of your unparalleled contributions in the field of environment, special education, and child psychology. Congratulations, ma'am, for the award.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. My special thanks to Dr. Shipra, ma'am, and ST members. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, ma'am, once again. And now I would announce the next awardee, who is Dr. Sonali Paul Majumdar. Ma'am, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, ma'am, we feel highly honored and delighted to bestow you with the ST Women Excellence Award 2020 in recognition of your unparalleled contribution in the field of soil science and agriculture. Ma'am is Senior Scientist at ICAR, Central Research Institute for Jute and Allied Fibers, Barakpur, Kolkata. Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you. I am truly humbled and honored to receive this award from Save the Environment, and I am enormously grateful to the organization and happy to be a part of this family. Many, many thanks to the Save the Environment and organizing committee for this felicitation and encouragement. Thank you. Thank you, Shipra ma'am also. Thank you, organizing secretary. Thank you.
Congratulations once again, ma'am. Now it's time that we announce our next category of STE Annual Awards, which is STE Best Teacher Award. And in this, we have our first awardee as Miss Archana Adhikari. Ma'am, are you there? Miss Archana Adhikari, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, we can hear, ma'am.
Hello.
So
Good evening.
our next category is ST Best Teacher Award, and our awardee is Miss Archana Adhikari, who is principal at St. Peter's School, Durgapur, West Bengal. Ma'am, the entire ST fraternity is highly honored and delighted to bestow the ST Best School Principal Award 2020 in recognition of your excellence in inculcating value-based education and inspiring life skills in the young minds of school students. We congratulate you, ma'am, for the award.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Good evening. Hello. Can you hear
yes,
me?
ma'am. So, yes, ma'am, we can hear you. So, would you like to say a few words?
Yes. Thank you so much. A very good evening to all the esteemed dignitaries present in this online conference. I'm highly honored, and I really thank the President, Dr. Shipra Mishra, and also Mrs. Shubhra Mishra, with who like I am associated in Durgapur, and I am also thankful to the entire team of STE for having honored me with this award, and I pray that God Almighty will definitely use me for the greater glory, and also it'll be a happy moment for me to contribute what I have to the society and also to become a part of this family of ST. Thank you so much.
Congratulations once again, ma'am. Now, our next awardee is Miss Ashita Puri. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much.
So, ma'am is PhD Biotechnology at Vasant Valley School, Vasant Kunj. Miss Ashita Puri, STE, feel highly delighted to bestow the Best Teacher Award 2020 in recognition of your stimulating and inspirational role as a sincere teacher. We congratulate you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel honored and delighted to be a part of this event today. It was an enriching experience. Thank you, STE. Thank you, Dr. Shipra Mishra, for considering me worthy of this recognition. You all eminent people here would agree with me when I say that teaching is not a one-way street. It's a huge learning experience and I'm enjoying this journey. It's all by the support of my teachers, their guidance, my colleagues and superiors at Vasan Valley School, and most of all, my family and friends. It's their support that I'm here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now our next awardee for the Best Teacher Award is Miss Harit Bagga, who was formerly PGT Senior Biology Teacher at SS Mota Singh Senior School, Secondary School. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Mrs. Harit Bagga, we are highly delighted to bestow the Best Teacher Award 2020 during our ST Annual Award in your recognition of stimulating and inspirational role as a sincere teacher, and your involvement has been instrumental establishing and executing eco clubs and various environment related activities and awareness programs, thereby inculcating an aptitude for environmental safety and protection in students. We once again congratulate you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm really honored to be there along with such eminent scientists and personalities. And it is an honor for me, a teacher who's working in a school, to be bestowed with such a wonderful and honorable, prestigious award. As a teacher, it is my duty to inculcate the love for environment and to shape the young minds so that they can be the future torch bearers and can help to save the Mother Earth. And I'm really happy and thankful to all of you to appreciate my efforts in this direction. Once again, thanks to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am, and we congratulate you once again.
Thank you,
our next awardee in this category is Sister Kiran. Are you, ma'am? Sister, are you there? Sister Kiran, are you there? Okay, so I shall announce her name, and we feel extremely privileged and delighted to award the ST Best Teacher Award to Sister Kiran, who is teacher at Maryhill Convent near Mount Carmel School, Maryhill, Bangalore, Karnataka. And this award is being bestowed to Sister Kiran in recognition of her stimulating and inspirational role as a sincere teacher and her involvement in educating environmental sciences to students who are the future of our society. Thank you, Sister Kiran, once again. Now, I would like to announce the next category of awards, which is ST Young Researcher Awards. We have two categories, subcategories under this, faculty and the research scholars. For STE Young Researcher Faculty category, I call upon name of Dr. Devanshi Magu, who is Assistant Professor at Department of Chemistry, University of Delhi. Devanshi ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm very much there, Dr. Anuja. Thank you.
So we congratulate you for this award, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anuja. I would like to thank the entire team of Save the Environment, the jury, and Dr. Shipra Mishra in particular for considering me worthy of this award. This recognition is surely going to inspire me more to do more. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank my mentors, my guiding lights forever, Dr. Anju Srivastav, Principal, Hindu College, Dr. Reena Jain, Vice Principal, Hindu College, all my colleagues at Hindu College, Professor J.M. Khurana, Professor R.K. Sharma, and my dear students who have been always inspiring me to do more. And these people have been the pillars for where I am today. And their tireless efforts to take the institution to greater heights not only motivates me, but always makes me excel in whatever I do. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Congratulations once again, Devanshi ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
In this category, that is STE Young Researcher Faculty Award, now I would like to announce the second awardee, who is Dr. Gitanjali Saghina. Ma'am, are you there? Dr. Gitanjali Saghina is Assistant Professor at Keshav
Yes, ma'am.
Maha.
If I'm audible, like, yeah, I'm here.
Yes, yes, you are. So the next awardee is Dr. Gitanjali Saghina, who is Assistant Professor at Keshav Mahavidyalaya, University of Delhi. Congratulations, ma'am. Now I would like to call upon our third awardee, Dr. Ankita Verma. Are you there?
What to do?
Dr. Ankita Verma?
यार मैं कुछ नहीं सुन पाई अपना.
So the STE Young Researcher Research Scholar Award 2020 goes to Dr. Ankita Verma, who is Research Associate at Division of Agriculture Chemicals, ICAR IRI, New Delhi. Congratulations, Ankita Verma. Miss Madhulika Esther Prasad, are you there, ma'am? So the next awardee for the ST Young Researcher Award is Miss Madhulika Esther Prasad. Congratulations, ma'am. Our next awardee for this category is Engineer Mehboob Alam, sir. We congratulate you.
This is Madhulika. Sorry to interrupt you. Actually, the unmute button was not working.
Okay. So STE feel highly delighted to invite you and award you with the ST Young Researcher Award, Miss Madhulika Esther Prasad. We congratulate you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So our next awardee is Engineer Mehboob Alam, who is Executive Engineer at Damodar Valley Corporation, National Institute of Technology, Durgapur, Kolkata. We congratulate you, sir. Are you there? Our next awardee for this award is ST Young Researcher Award is Mr. Anuj Kumar, who is Senior Research Fellow at Department of Chemistry, University of Delhi. Mr. Anuj, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we congratulate you, Mr. Anuj Kumar.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to say something.
Yes, yes, sure.
Yeah, I am really honored and delighted to have the Young Researcher Award of STE. And yes, I would like to thanks my supervisor, Dr. Rajkishore Sharma, who is Associate Professor in Department of Chemistry, University of Delhi. And I would like to also thanks to the organizing committee and the jury member who who are giving me this award, and I am really honored. Thank you all.
Congratulations once again, Mr. Anuj. Now, our next awardee for the ST Young Researcher Award is Ms. Aula Supong. Ma'am, are you there? Aula Supong is research scholar at Department of Chemistry, Nagaland University. So we congratulate you, Ms. Aula Supong.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Now, our next, sorry. Our next awardee for the category that is ST Young Researcher Award is Ms. Pallavi Banerjee, who is research scholar at Laboratory of Hormone Biology and Cancer Genetics, School of Biotechnology, Gautam Buddha University. We congratulate you, Ms. Pallavi Banerjee, for the award. Now, our next awardee in the same category is Ms. Swati Singh, who is PhD scholar at Department of Environmental Studies, University. And ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
We congratulate you, Ms. Swati Singh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now our last ST Young Researcher Awardee is Mr. Sumit Sharma, who is PhD scholar, Department of Biotechnology at Bennett University. Mr. Sumit, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
We congratulate you for the award.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ST. Thank you, Shipra, ma'am. I'm extremely thankful for all the organizing committee for choosing me for this award, and it is the important for my success in the professional career. Also, it helped me to improve my research work and other things for the contribution to the society and for the future. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Sumit, and once again, congratulations to you. Now, I may request Dr. Priyanka Sharma to.
Ma'am, I'm really sorry for the interruption. I am Dr. Gitanjali this side, and because of some poor connectivity from my end, I was unable to take the time you have this or recommend me with this award of Young Researcher Award. So, if you allow me, can I just speak few words?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I am profusely elated to have this award. And like I'm particularly very much thankful to the ST organizing committee, co-convener from ESDA, where I am associated with, and I'm really very much elated to receive this award from your end. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Gitanjali Zagina, ma'am. Now, I may request Dr. Priyanka Sharma to please carry on the session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anuja. I request Kalpana ma'am to please introduce our next speaker, Professor Satendra Kaur Barar. Thank you, ma'am.
Excuse
Thank
me.
you, Priyanka.
Just sorry to interrupt.
It's my pleasure.
We have to, say about oral and poster awards also. Those we are getting this finalized, and we'll be announcing after this lecture. Okay.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Shipra ma'am, for informing. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, I'm very happy to introduce our special speaker, Professor Satinder Kaur Brar, who is holding a position of James and Joan Love Chair in Environmental Engineering at York University. Her research is on the intersecting areas of environmental engineering and its impact on the overall well-being of the global community. She primarily works in two covering fields of value addition of waste and removal of emerging contaminants. Many national and international awards and honors have been bestowed on her that proves her research mettle. Recent one being in 2019, AD Principal Processes Wastewater Medal winner, honored by the Water Environment Federation in 2017. Her research on novel and advanced hybrid oxidation enzymatic technology for emerging trace environmental contaminants were awarded the grand prize in university research for excellence in environmental engineering and science by the American Academy of Environmental Engineers and Scientists. Bioprocessing and nanoenzyme formulation facility at York University. She leads the facility, which has successfully led to the training of 69 HQA. Currently, she is supervising 4 PDFs, 2 research associates, 1 research assistant, 11 PhDs, and 2 MScs. She has published more than 385 articles, edited 11 books, and at least 52 invited talks to her credit. So with such an exhaustive, achievement and exhaustive work, I would call upon Professor Satinder Kaur Brar to kindly deliver her talk and enlighten us with her experience and achievements.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhargava, for this wonderful introduction. And I'm sure it's pretty late there in India. It's almost getting to 10 p.m., right? So hope I don't make all of you sleep, but that would be a good dose as well. So first of all, before I begin, I would like to thank Dr. Shipra ma'am, who has been my lifelong mentor, the EWASH committee, and everybody who has been listening and participating in this 2-day conference, which I think is bringing to the fore various environmental challenges. So without much ado, I would like to start my presentation. I also have along with me my postdoctoral fellow, Dr. Rama Pulicharla, although I would be presenting the whole presentation, but in case there are some questions, probably she can also answer on behalf of me. So like we have been discussing different environmental challenges. So today what I'm going to present to you here is microplastics pollution in water, how micro is going macro, because microplastics as such, they do not have any legal definition, unfortunately, so far. What people describe as microplastic is something which is less than 5 millimeter. And they have found everywhere, all the way from food to residues, and there is no reference material, so that you cannot have a standard analysis method for these microplastics. And of course, we should not forget that there are 2 types of plastics that exist these days. You have recycled ones and you have virgin ones, and then also you have the plastics which have aged. And also there is a possibility of leakage or leaching out of these microplastics. If we look at the global distribution of microplastics in different environmental matrices, you would see that almost 91% is in the sediments, because although plastics are supposed to be floating on the top of the waters, but what happens is after a certain period of time, due to the different processes that take place, most of these plastics would descend to the bottom of the water bodies, be it rivers, lakes, ponds, oceans, etc. And if we are looking at the plastics production, you would see that from the 1950s, when it all started, we are almost reaching 400 million tons so far. And this is, it's almost going exponentially, the increase, which is quite interesting, but at the same time alarming, as the environmental control is not moving at the same pace as the production. And worst of all, which some of us know, but probably many of us still don't know, most of the bottled water does contain microplastics. And these microplastics, they leach out during the different bottling processes in the bottled water. So you can see here on this slide, different companies which have been listed. And this on the right side represents the concentration in terms of number of particles amongst these different water bottles. And if we have to look at another aspect of microplastics, which mostly comes from the clothing, because these days, 64% of our clothing is synthetic. So these microplastics during the wash cycle, they come out as microfibers, and these make up most of the debris on the shorelines, and as well as in other different environmental matrices. Coming to the Indian context, this is the only information I could find in terms of India so far. Maybe I would be missing here something, but this is what I can say. If you look at the global picture of the country as a whole, so definitely as an average plastic waste generation of India, which is almost 4,059 tons per day. So still we would say the plastic share is less, which is 7% as compared to many other countries. But then one should not forget that microplastics problem is not a local problem, but definitely there can be some local efforts which should be put towards the control of the plastic production as well as its use, which would, contribute in some way to the worldwide pollution that is caused by their release. From here, the general introduction, let me now move on to the microplastics per se. So here today, in today's talk, I'm going to outline this microplastics as as an acronym, which we are going to discuss one by one as to how that is perpetually leading to the intensification of this pollution. Starting off with M, so I think the worst scenario happens with plastics is due to the mixture of polymers and additives that we find. So most of the plastics, these days, which are primarily we find polyethylene, polypropylene, and PET, which are the key polymers. But then we have others like polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, polyurethane, etc. And we should not forget the miscellaneous ones, and of course, the ones that are recycled. And the recycled plastics are very, very difficult to characterize because they can have any mixture and any proportion of many of these plastics. The next challenge, I would say, with respect to microplastics is in terms of interaction. So most of these microplastics, they interact with aquatic life. They can interact with the microorganisms, and microorganisms be it in soil, waters, anywhere, and terrestrial life as well. And what happens is that it leads to bioaccumulation. In case of microorganisms, they lead to the accumulation in the gut microbiota. And that's why the human body is also constituted to be an important niche for many of these microplastic residues. And as well as if it goes to the terrestrial life, after all, it's a cycle. It comes back to us humans being part of that cycle. So does it present as human health risk for us? It does, but then let me state to you one more thing, which is often the case with most of these emerging contaminants, is that it takes time to get to know their effects. Because none of their effects are acutely known. Most of them would be chronic. So it takes sometimes maybe the life cycle of a person to understand what happened with respect to the accumulation of any of these emerging contaminants. And third challenge with respect to the microplastic would be coagulation. Because microplastics, once they are in the environment, due to some shear forces, they can break down to nanoplastics. Now, if we go by the technical definition of nanoplastics, they are usually within the range of 1 to 100 nanometers. So they are not easy to analyze either. And once these microplastics get into the environment, what happens is they can interact with the humic acids or organic matrix and form aggregates. Likewise, they can also interact with the extracellular polysaccharides, which are mostly released by the microorganisms present in any given environment, and again form aggregates. And finally, when aggregated, it leads to settling. And that's what we have seen. 90% of these plastics, they are actually sedimented, or they are found in the sediments. And likewise, if we are looking at the wastewater treatment plant, so most of these microplastics, they end up in wastewater sludge. And in some countries, these wastewater sludges are still viewed as an important agricultural application in terms of biosolids. So then again, it comes back to us as it completes its life cycle. The next challenge with respect to microplastic would be resistance. we should not forget they're polymers. So they have high molecular weight, they have long chains, they're mostly hydrophobic, they can have adsorption capacity, they have less number of functional groups, but they are there. And then we already spoke about the heterogeneity, that they are not homogeneous. You can have wide range of sizes and wide range of monomers which are present. And of course, plastic ingestion takes place in the terrestrial life. And then the lightweight plastics, they are also resistant to thermal degradation. And because they are difficult to degrade, they rarely undergo biodegradation. And more so, when they are in the seawater, sometimes the low temperature or low oxygen also hinders their photodegradation. So technically, they are not resistant. They are always present around in that particular given environment. With respect to oxidation, one should expect that there would be some oxidation. I already stated earlier that there can be photodegradation, thermal degradation, etc. Biodegradation is very rare in many of these plastics. It would take several hundred years before they can be even biodegraded, or even much more. So talking in terms of oxidation, yes, probably they could be oxidized, but then one needs to rework on their structures. So that is to redesign the polymers in such a way that they can undergo any of those natural oxidation processes in a given environment. But otherwise, if we have to carry out the oxidation, it would be mostly under controlled conditions in a reactor or in a given setup, and it cannot be done on its own by nature. The next challenge with respect to a microplastic is persistence. Okay, the plastics in contact with UV radiation, they can convert to smaller, low molecular weight compounds, what we call microplastics, and further, they can leach the dissolved organic compounds into the water. But then once they go into the water, it increases the crystallinity of the remaining plastic. And once they become crystalline, they become persistent. In other words, their half-life increases when they are present in the environment. They can no longer be removed or eliminated from a particular environment in a very short time frame. It would be a very, very long time frame. And of course, the persistence is accentuated if there is no light and the pressure is high and the temperatures are low, which does happen, for example, in the Arctic. And then we have the high molecular weight and them being hydrophobic, that is repelling water. This also leads to their non-availability with respect to biodegradation by the microorganisms. Next challenge would be leaching. Okay, one should not forget when we are talking about plastics, it's not just the polymer. The plastic has so many additives. Just to give you some, this is not a complete list because the plastic additives are added on based on their end use. So you can have different additives which are normally added to prolong their life. We can have the organic or inorganic pigments which contain usually heavy metals for color. Then we have the flame retardants like brominated diphenyl ethers or cyclohexanes. We have heat stabilizers, mostly heavy metals. Then you have biocides, mostly again heavy metals and some organic compounds like triclosan. You have stabilizers like bisphenol A, nonylphenol. Now bisphenol A is banned in many countries, but still they find other isomers of bisphenol which find their way into these plastics. Then you have the curing agents, hydrazine and formaldehyde. We have the plasticizers like the chlorinated paraffin. So you can see, even looking at this particular list, it seems to be quite long in terms of these additives. So once we have a microplastic sitting in an environmental setting, depending on the process conditions that we have there, we are not only dealing with the polymer itself, but also these additives which would leach out from that polymer as the time passes, depending on the temperature, pH, and so many other conditions, which is also quite important and significant if we need to understand globally as to how these plastics or microplastics they behave in an environmental setting. So next challenge, again, this is adsorption. We already spoke about the fact that most of these polymers or plastics, they are hydrophobic. So being hydrophobic, they act as vectors for other contaminants. What do I mean by that is the microplastics can provide the required surface, for example, the heavy metals in terms of their, when they, they ionically bond with them to sort of, becoming a support for these heavy metals. And now these heavy metals all the way, let's say from a water source, they are taken down to the sediment. Likewise, we have already, we have seen many presentations we heard today on these emerging contaminants like pharmaceuticals and personal care products. And these are present in very low concentrations, all the way from nanograms to micrograms per liter. And the microplastics, again, can provide the required surface so that these PPCPs or personal care products, they can bind to these microplastics through hydrogen, ionic, or van der Waals bonds, and again settle to the bottom of a given water source. And likewise, the microplastics can also get in touch with the organic matrix. Organic matrix provides a support. And then sometimes these PPCPs, they can provide a sort of pseudo presence of these contaminants in the environment, and they can undergo adsorption and desorption at the same time. Continuing the microplastic adsorption phenomena. So here I'm presenting a study where they saw, this was conducted across different countries in the world, all the way from Europe to Malaysia and South America. They found that there were many concentrations of metals which were quite high in these in the plastics that they found on the shorelines here in across the world in different countries. Moving on from here, the next challenge that the microplastic would present is sedimentation. Of course, we have already stated that they have a hydrophobic surface, and they can act as support for binding other organic compounds. So example, you can have the humic acid, you can have, this is in the marine environment, you can have salts and humic acid, or you can have high salinity. So we see as the, what happens is the settling ratio keeps on increasing. That is the support, as a support when it gets clamored with all these different matrices, then as it reaches 100%, it has a tendency to settle because of the increased aggregation. And once it is aggregated, as I already stated earlier, that doesn't mean that it may not undergo desorption in terms of certain contaminants. But then it is also providing that mobility, those contaminants which were locally found, now they can travel all across the world through the oceans or through the river environments, and get into so many other places where they were not bound to be there. Because many of those pharmaceuticals, actually, they are geographically or locally concentrated depending on the type of prescription that is given in that country. But unfortunately, these microplastics, they provide all the support and the mobility to those locally existing contaminants so that they become highly mobile across the globe. And another challenge, which is toxicity for microplastics. So the studies which have been done so far, of course, they have been mostly limited to the lab scale. They have studied the developmental toxicity using zebrafish, Daphnia, etc. And they have found that these microplastics, they present challenges in terms of development, pro-inflammatory responses, of course, oxidative stress, reproductive toxicity, cytotoxicity, neurotoxicity, and bioaccumulation. I was recently reading a paper on this microplastics, and in fact, it was seen that some of these, the pharmaceuticals, when they bind to these microplastics, they enhance the endocrine disruption action of some of those pharmaceuticals, like the synthetic hormones. So which is quite something. Of course, we need more studies to prove that further, if that is so the case. But then environment is pretty complex, and any kind of interactions are bound to happen once they are in the environment. And of course, there is one more thing, that is the plant toxicity. How do the microplastics show their toxicity to plants? That has not been studied so far. But definitely them being living organisms would also undergo the same type of toxicity. The next challenge, I would say, the microplastics would pose is in terms of inhibition, okay? Because what happens is when these microplastics are further broken down into nanoplastics, they can decrease the rate of reaction in certain cases, like in the anaerobic processes. And this happens due to the fact that they are continuously acting as a niche for other contaminants. Now, these contaminants are then concentrated in one place. So because of this presence, a concentrated presence of certain contaminants, it can lead to the cytotoxicity, or what we call the cell toxicity for these microorganisms, and further leading to oxidative stress. The last challenge I would say the microplastic would pose is in terms of complexation. We should not forget that the microplastics are electrostatically charged. You can have the hydrogen bond formation, and sometimes when it is interacting with the sodium ions, it can inhibit the hydrogen bond formation. But again, it can bind to certain antibiotics, bisphenols and halogen rings, etc. And it can lead to a sort of a microplastic contaminant complex, which can be with an organic or an inorganic species. And this then, this type of complexation, we don't know what kind of property it would demonstrate. Would it be leading to more resistance to degradation? Would it be leading to a persistence of these microplastics? So there are many questions which need to be addressed around microplastics, which is, of course, a key area of interest these days for research. But then it's like an ocean which we are trying to explore when we are getting there to understand what kind of interactions these microplastics could pose. So I would say that if I have to critically discuss some knowledge gaps here with respect to what we have seen, is that if we have to compare with other anthropogenic pollutants, which I'm not saying that they are not of any concern, but microplastics, they are really high ecological risk. Why? Because they are providing that support for other contaminants to be, tagged along and move across the globe freely. So that is kind of a caveat situation for these microplastics. And of course, we don't know still the role of microorganisms as to how they can degrade these microplastics. Here, I would like to give you my own personal experience. For example, everybody thinks that these bioplastics, mostly polylactic acid derived plastics, are supposed to be biodegradable. But we have done a study ourselves in the field and as well as in the lab. And we have seen that polylactic acid is very difficult to degrade. Even in a year, we did not see a degradation at all, what I can call statistically a degradation. So, so it's a bit confusing of what is biodegradable and what is not. And one should not forget that plastic is never alone. You have other additives added to it. So it comes as a, as a whole source, not as a single entity. And then degradation pattern of microplastics in anaerobic processes, which is mostly the case in sediments where they settle. 90% of these plastics go to the sediments, where you don't have that much oxygen level. It could be anoxic, or in some cases, even anaerobic. It needs to be seen what happens to these microplastics. And of course, I think foremost and the most important is one has to know the life cycle of these microplastics if we want to know the overall toxicity that they pose in different environmental settings. So the take-home message I would say from here would be that the microplastics are small, but then they are becoming a macro problem these days, because one should not forget, because of their chemical properties of being hydrophobic, easily partitioning, you can find them in landfills, water sources, and because they can be ingested due to their size, they can be found in aquatic life, eventually ending up in humans. And last but not the least, these microplastics tend to undergo breakdown further into nanoplastics, which can end up also in all these different aquatic sources, leading to further complexity in terms of their behavior. So before I end, I would say I don't think we want to see our Arctic to be plastic perfect, because that's not the way the polar bears would like it to have. And of course, we don't want our food pyramid also, to be concerned about how much daily dose of microplastics we take in. So I think that ends my talk. And before I end, I would like to thank you all for your patience. It's so late there. I really salute you all, for being up till that time, because for us, at least, it's a daytime. And I would like to thank again the organizers for this wonderful environmental conference. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Brar. I think it was such an enriching experience. I don't think I have ever seen such an elaborate definition of microplastic. I mean, I think this is the first time I have seen such a elaborate definition of microplastic, as well as their effect on human as well as aquatic life. So I think this was really a great presentation. Thank you so much. And I don't know, Priyanka, can we take up a couple of questions if anybody has?
Yes, ma'am, 1 or 2 we can.
Anuja, consolation prize.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear.
Hello, Priyanka?
Yes, ma'am. 1 or 2 questions we can take. If anybody has a question, they can ask. 1 or 2 only, please. Thank you. Oh, ma'am, Kalpana ma'am, if there are no questions, we can proceed further.
I think we will proceed with the next
Can I ask
talk,
one question?
and which is by Dr. Rama. Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Somebody has raised hand, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Mr. RKS, we can hear you.
Yeah. So, Professor Brar, I'm RK Sharma. I think.
Yeah.
So it's a it's very good, very informative. And I just want to ask you one question.
Yes,
How
sure.
to detect these microplastics in water? Is there any sensor or detection method?
Actually, no, there is unfortunately no, it's unified detection method so far. People are trying, there is like, you know, they're trying to mix up everything, microscopy and GC and LCMS, etc. But I think the effort is more towards detection at this point, honestly telling you, because until unless you can detect them, you would not know exactly where they are leading to in terms of toxicity or degradation, right? So yeah, that's where we are actually at detection. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So can we move on to the next speaker?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so our next speaker is Dr. Rama Purli Charla. She is a postdoctoral visitor at the Department of Civil Engineering, York University. Her research
Ma'am,
mainly
excuse me,
focuses
ma'am.
on.
I think Madam Satinder has already.
Yeah, I've done it.
It's a combined presentation, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was a combined presentation that has been presented by Professor Satinder. So we don't have presentation of Professor Rama.
Acha, okay. So no more presentation?
Yes, ma'am. No more presentations.
If I think I see one raised hand. I don't know if you see.
Yeah, Harshit.
Harshit Sahai, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
You can ask if you want to ask something.
Yes, ma'am. So I wanted to ask Dr. Brar that I saw her wonderful presentation, and I wanted to ask that if there is a possibility that apart from, say, the aquatic ecosystems, the microplastics are also entering, different domains of our terrestrial ecosystems as well.
Yes. Terrestrial ecosystems, actually it's everywhere, right? They can fly, the microplastics can fly, they can swim, they can do everything. So I think all means of, yes, they do end up in the terrestrial life as well. And that's what makes it complex, This challenge is pretty complex as compared to many other contaminants, but we have not yet handled so many challenges with respect to common pollutants. So this is, I think it's much more significant as compared to others.
Right, ma'am. So I was also researching upon microplastics, focusing on the terrestrial domain, and I've especially in agriculture. So I wanted, if there is a possibility that they are accumulating into, say, the plants or crops in sense of bioaccumulation.
Yes, Harshit, I think in one of my slides, you would have seen when I talked about toxicity, phytotoxicity is something people have not studied. So probably if you are researching that, that would be a good addition in this field in terms of phytotoxicity. If we could learn something, that is big lacunae at this point. But like I was telling earlier, Professor Sharma also, that detection is something where we are still not there. So if detection is not there, I think rest of the things, they sort of don't align then, First, you need to have a unified standard detection method before you can go to toxicity.
Right, ma'am. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Satinder.
Yes.
How are you? So just wanted to let you know that we had evaluated some of the projects.
Okay.
And I have mentored one of the 12th class student who has developed testing kit for microplastics.
Good.
And I'll share later on, but it was a confidential because he was appearing in some contest. So.
Okay.
But we can involve him also. He's a very bright student. We can take it up further.
Good. Yeah.
And thank you for agreeing and delivering this talk.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So I hope I was concise,
Yeah, very short, very concise, unlike you.
I think Priyanka, we can move on.
Yes, ma'am, definitely, ma'am. I request Professor Anju Srivastav. Madam, please come for the concluding remarks.
Thank you. Uh, Mr. Varshney, Dr. Kalpana Bhargav, Professor Brar, Satinder Brar, Professor R.K. Sharma, Dr. Chipra Mishra, the colleagues that I can see even at such a late hour of the day, experts of certain fields that again I can see Professor Sahu, who's an award winner, and all the dear students who have, unlike the students, have continued to stay on this platform. It's indeed my privilege and a very big pleasure to be, witnessing this very, very mega, grand, extraordinary event which has happened. By far, so many conferences we have attended, but this one has been really very, very enriching because the experts of various fields have immensely contributed to the understanding of EWASH, environment, water, agriculture, sustainability, and health in perspective of a post-COVID environment. We have reached the culmination of this international conference, and it has been a splendid, very superior quality experience. I'm sure when I'm saying this, I am being agreed upon by most of the people who have participated. In fact, the entire community of young and seasoned scientists, experts, and everybody else. In these 2 days, there have been several, remarkable things, remarkable events, very, very good talks. But also, I think the involvement of the students has been commendable. Their presentations, their papers, in these kind of modes of presentation, this must be very unique for them also to present in the online mode, and they have adapted to it and have been able to participate in a very enthusiastic manner is indeed noteworthy and worth mentioning. We've had a spectrum of areas which have been covered and also covered by the students, ranging from snakes to green methods to efficient methods to almost everything that they say about environment, and each having their own varied ways of expressing their concern for the environment is indeed something which is par excellence. They have talked about the emerging issues of environment. I mean, the experts also have talked about various such things. In the valedictory session, when Mr. Varshney was giving us an overview of the various environmental challenges, it really leaves us with absolutely speechless sort of situation as to what all needs to be done. It's not one, not two, it's just never ending. So our concern is absolutely appropriate, and more so because we have to, leave a better planet. And it's for the young people to understand that they have to work so much. There's a huge responsibility on their shoulders as to how to make this place greener and healthier. Needless to say, we had some of the most coveted people in terms of the Green Man. Mr. Vijaypal Baghel had visited and had interacted in a very simplistic, very unassuming way. He spoke about the most necessary thing on this planet, and he was urging us all to, shake ourselves up and do that little bit of contribution. So these things have really touched all of us, the students, the experts, the scientists. I think it's amazing. And again, Padma Shri, Mr. Bimal Roy was also in his candid manner said that if we are working for the environment, we have to do, sampling and data has to be taken very seriously and has to be done to the most accurate manner. We have had several other immensely popular speakers and those very seasoned people who have worked for decades in these lines and have contributed not only for raising alarms, but also for coming up with mitigation methods for, analysis and how to make this place better. And so technologies like nano, like sustainable agriculture, like the use of artificial intelligence, all these things were discussed. And that has been, I think, extremely interesting and motivating for the students and for the researchers to take up these topics. I must say that Professor Brar's talk was so interesting. Because of the paucity of time, I think we've really missed some bits, which on some other occasion we would definitely like to invite you, because I think you were so thorough with this world of plastics and how we cannot leave it because it's become an indispensable and integral part of our lives. But at the same time, it is making our lives, miserable. So I think it's the situation of cause and effect. The cause is us. We have generated it, and they are making their effect on us. So I think we have to understand that from experts like you, and I'm sure you will give us this opportunity in the coming times very soon. But I think as we are almost heading towards the last bit of this conference, the awardees and the innumerable awardees, which is such a great gesture of the Save the Environment, that they have been not only that they have been very humble and talking about how motivating it is for them. I think it's an honor for us all to honor them, because it's really not the honor of to being given to the awardees. It's an honor to the organization. It's an honor to the committee and to the cause of science, to the cause of environment, to make these kind of very important landmark type of gestures, which helps a lot and takes things in a very, very long way. So what can I say other than this? Because I think we are in anyway running very, very short of time. We've almost crossed by almost like 7:45, and now it is 11:45. So 3 hours behind schedule is crazy, but it also speaks volumes of the sentiments, I would say. The sentiments are very strong. The urge is very strong. The enthusiasm is very strong. From the youngest to the oldest, I think everybody wants to do something. And this kind of a conference is one of its kind, where it's just not coming to an end. Every speaker has jolted us to work more, to work in the correct way. And since people like me are into green chemistry, I think it's time that there is only one chemistry, and that is green chemistry. There should be nothing else, no other practice, because everything else is making things go in the wrong direction, going in the irretrievable direction. So with this, I think I would like to say that we have reached the end, but I think I've just received a message. Am I supposed to do this?
Yes, Dr. Anju.
Okay, thank
Please, I will request.
Yeah, I know.
Kindly declare, because it should be an honor for the students also,
Yeah,
no?
so I think nobody would be interested in me speaking so much. But the students who are waiting and the researchers who are waiting would definitely like to know the result of the oral presentations. So just a minute, please. Okay. The 1 minute, Dr. Mishra.
It's not clear.
I think I have yes. Oral presentation awards, na? ये बोलना.
Yeah. हाँ इसमें काफी हैं actually काफी अच्छे papers
So
थे.
here again we have a long list
Yeah.
of awardees. So I think the STE headed by Dr. Mishra has one motto that take as many people along as possible, keep moving them in the right direction, and they will get back with positive results, which is so much needed.
Thank you.
I would like to now announce and take the honor. I mean, it's really a privilege to announce the results. In the faculty category, we have two winners. We have Dr. Praveen Kumar, Environment Scientist, Sri Ram Institute for Industrial Research. Many, many congratulations, Dr. Kumar. If he is not there, then this would be communicated to him, I guess.
Yes.
And the second winner is, I don't know, madam, whether this is in this order of one or two, but
no, they are all equal.
They are all
So they are
at the same level. So this is shared with Ms. Ankita Lal, Assistant Professor, Department of Biotechnology, Graphic Era, deemed to be university. Many, many heartiest congratulations, Ms. Ankita Lal. In the research scholar category, we have Krushitha Shetty. Very good, Krushitha. You are a research scholar from Department of Nanotechnology, Vishveshwaraya Technological University, and I also happen to listen to your work. That was really good. I was also quite enthused by it. And the second one, again, I was able to hear this person was again very, very good. Jonathan S. Singsit. Is it that? Yeah, Singsit. Jonathan S. Singsit. He's a research scholar. He talked about biochar, again, a field which we people are very interested in. School of Environmental Sciences, Jawaharlal Nehru University. And the third one was the one, I think, who was talking about snakes, if I'm not mistaken. And that's Gaurav Barhadia, PhD scholar, Department of Environment Studies, University of Delhi. Many congratulations to the three of you, and great work. Keep doing this great work. In the student category, we have three winners, three sets of winners, I would say. One is from CSIR Niri Delhi Zonal Center, Ms. Mansi Varshne. Congratulations, Mansi. And we have in the second position, or maybe sharing with her, is a team of Yashna Davar and Suyash. Both of them are from my department, chemistry, Hindu College, and I'm so proud of it. Wonderful, Yashna and Suyash. The third one is again Hindu College, Department of Zoology, and the name is also Suyash. So wonderful job done. And in addition, 1 minute. This is still more to go.
Poster.
एक मिनट इसके बाद एक नाम देखिए.
नहीं, I think it
Mansi, Yashna, Suyash, yeah. And then we have the poster presentation awards, where the best poster award, let me start with the third best. Third best poster goes to Mr. Prince. Oh, wow, that's again Hindu College. And one well done, Prince. May you become king very soon. Second best poster award goes to, this is from Bennett University, Department of Biotechnology, Greater Noida. This is Shubhra Jain. Congratulations, Shubhra, for your very, very splendid presentation. And the first one goes to, okay. It goes to from Assistant Professor Ms. Jigisha Anand, Department of Biotechnology, Graphic Era, Clement Town, Dehradun. Many congratulations, Jigisha, to you too.
Actually, sorry to interrupt, Dr. Anju.
No,
This
ma'am.
is in each category, one. So,
Okay, best.
yeah, best in
So
each
among the
category.
as if in the faculty category, it
Yeah.
must be Jigisha who has
Jigisha,
got
yes.
the prize, and in the student category, it's Shubhra and Prince,
Prince.
correct?
That is research scholar category and undergraduate.
A normal category.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
wonderful. Sorry for this. I mean, I was not able to make up. And then I come to
Yeah, that's right.
the very needed addition, and that is the Consolation Award for oral presentation. These are gestures which just keep the students motivated. And we have two students. One is Shruti Dhar, and the other is Rishi Kumar, both of them from Hindu College. So a very, very hearty congratulations to all the winners, and your hard work has paid off. Keep doing this very, very good work. Thank you so much to everybody. Dr. Mishra, we feel so blessed to be associated with you. Professor Sharma, we really feel that you've been the guiding light and continue to keep blessing us, our college, and many other organizations who have joined today. I would of course fail in my duties if I do not thank CSIR NEERI, ESDA, and my own college. Of course, I don't need to feel grateful about, because I think it's an opportunity which has been given, and if we don't use this, then the problem is in us and not in anybody else. So thanks once again. Have a Merry Christmas and a great New Year. Much and away from all this COVID, and we come back into normal form, we hope, at the earliest. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anju, for always being so supportive towards STE, and we are really blessed to have being associated with you. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody and all the co-organizers. And
yeah, I would like to say a few words.
Hello.
Yes, please, Dr. Bhargav.
Yeah, actually, last 2 days have been really, really enriching experience for me, because as you rightly mentioned, that I think this is one of the best conferences we have, had the opportunity to be part of. And, apart from, our president, Dr. Shipra Mishra, whom I have known, I think almost like 12, 13 years. So, I mean, she is my guiding force, and she is my, inspiration in some way. And I would like to really my special thanks the team members such as Priyanka Sharma, Jigni Mishra. I am sure this conference. So my special thanks to whosoever are, have been taken active part in this. Mr. Gyan, Priyanka, Jigni, Anuja. I think these are the pillar of the conference. So, and of course, all the other team. So thank you very much. And I really, really had great time in these 2 days.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Also, I would just like to add, of course, I think Dr. Bhargav, you've done the most required and most needful acknowledgement with Anuja and Priyanka standing there throughout. And now, of course, looking exhausted, but one doesn't mind that exhaustion when things go successful. But I also want to place on record, on behalf of the entire organization, that the Royal Society of Chemistry has the contribution, the collaboration with RSC indeed makes the situation, or makes the status of any such event extremely prestigious, and we really are extremely grateful to them for this.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Doctor. Yes, Doctor.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, madam. Madam, congratulations to our ST team for conducting. I know it's very hectic, but very nice conference. Very nice talk. I enjoy actually. I'm busy in the Manali. I cannot contribute much,
Yeah.
but I feel very happy to see that our team is
But you are
work very
always
hard
part of
in this
us,
regard.
so
Yeah, I always
yes, you are
part with
always part
the
of
team. I know
ST.
that,
So,
madam.
thank you so much for
Yes, yes, yes.
being so
I
supportive.
feel very
Always.
happy. The talks were excellent, madam. All the talks we enjoy, and all the relative, and then all the thing is very nice. Actually, is excellent. So congratulate again to all the ST members, and especially madam you,
Then
Chitra ma'am.
it's
I know
all
how
of
hard
us
work you are
actually.
doing.
It is Hindu College, RSC, ESTA,
Yes.
and without Hindu College, we
Yes.
could not have done anything actually. Not so successful.
Yes. Yes.
It's a big
Yeah,
help. That is
Hindu
true.
College is our team, ma'am.
I
Now
mean,
Hindu College is not
yes.
separate to us.
No.
He's our team now.
Yes,
So,
true.
yeah.
So thank you everybody, and I think Priyanka, this is time for the formal
Thank you, ma'am.
vote of thanks.
So,
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am, definitely.
Sorry
I
to
will.
interrupt because everybody
yes.
is really
Yes.
getting late also. But
Yes.
anyway, we all enjoyed, and I'm really, really
Yes,
happy.
really,
Thank
very
you.
helpful. Yes. Yes, ma'am. So,
Now, so it's the time for a formal vote of thanks. And yesterday in our lamp lighting ceremony, we took just a minute, just a minute. So yesterday in our lamp lighting ceremony, we took permission and blessings from God to conduct EWASH 2020 successfully and auspiciously. Today, our sincere thanks stretch to the Almighty first. Thank you so much, God. It's now time to thank the people who make a difference in our lives. And we feel indebted to our both the chief guests, Dr. Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Green Man of India, Vijaypal Baghel, and Shri Sanjeev Kumar Vashne, head of from Department of Science and Technology. We express our gratitude to all the chairpersons of the sessions and all the keynote speakers, invited speakers, and keynote speakers from international. Despite there is a huge time difference, they have been there. Special thanks to them. Congratulations to the awardees, and thanks to them for their presence and participation and for their talks. We truly appreciate the efforts made by budding researchers for oral and poster presentations, and we feel obliged to them for their being present and motivating us for their Zoom meeting. And thanks to our sponsors, Naban and God Surgicals, for their financial support, without which this conference would not have been possible. I feel overwhelmed while thanking our honorable members of organizing committee of EWASH 2020. We are indebted to Professor Arunabha Majumdar, Dr. Sanjeev Goyal for their support and guidance. And we have been fortunate to have Professor R.K. Sharma from Royal Society of Chemistry. We are grateful to you, sir. Our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Shipra Mishra, President STE and convener EWASH 2020, for her leading supervision and inspiration for organizing this event. I take the chance to thank our co-conveners, Dr. Anju Srivastav, Principal Hindu College, for her logistic and other support, ma'am. Dr. Jitendra Kumar Nagar, Founder and General Secretary ESTA, Mrs. Chanda Basu, General Secretary STE, for her constant encouragement. And thanks to the technology, because of which this conference was possible. And behind that technology, there was a huge force from Hindu College, Dr. Devanshi, Dr. Lalit, Dr. Dinesh, Dr. Amit, for providing this IT platform to conduct this event, which ran so smoothly and efficiently. Allow me to express my gratitude towards our co-organizers, Dr. Reena Jan, for lending her helping hand in the task. Words cannot describe how grateful I am to Dr. Anuja Bharadwaj and Dr. Jigni Mishra, who have been working relentlessly for the organization of this conference. There are some people who really rendered support behind the curtains. And we thank Mr. Gyan Kashyap for administrative and secretarial assistance. Of course, our family members, our kids, husbands and wives, respectively, for allowing us to conduct this conference for so late night hours, and for 2 continuous days we are there. We planned and executed, but still loopholes might have been there left on this online platform. We could not provide any refreshment to the people. There were some technical glitches, time constraints, and delay in time, and etc. etc. And we are very sorry for them, and thank you so much. So, Shipra ma'am, if there is nothing. Ma'am, you are on mute, ma'am. You are on mute. You are on mute.
Yes, I think till the next event is there, we should say bye to everybody and good night. And thank you each and everyone for all your kind help and support. And we hopefully we will continue with this kind of support always.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful 2-day event that we really enjoyed it. The students were really happy after attending the session. And I'm really happy to know that many of our first year students, they were able to present something,
Yes.
despite of the fact that they have never met us. It's hardly a month that they are into the college. 18th
know.
November it started, and 19th December they were there with us on this workshop. So I'm
That was
really happy.
amazing, yeah. And it is all of your efforts actually. So we don't have any manpower, we don't have any force. So we have to work with you only. Yes.
We get so inspired by you. Next time,
So
hopefully,
you are our workforce actually.
you are our
Sharma sir
motivation.
hai kya? Is he there?
Who?
अभी तो
शर्मा
थे।
जी नहीं, हाँ है, शर्मा जी हैं, शर्मा
Oh,
जी,
thank you sir.
शर्मा जी का,
बहुत
शर्मा जी का सपोर्ट तो हमेशा ही रहता है.
बहुत बढ़िया.
Without that, it is not possible.
I know.
हाँ जी.
So he is always so. Actually, I really thank him that he only suggested me to talk to you.
No, sir.
So then it transformed into something different actually altogether. It
No, I
made.
think, yeah, I mean, we also feel very fortunate that it's Sharma sir who has, introduced us to you, and now there's a lot of scope to do further and go.
No, I think we should should not thank each other. We are all team. So
That's not good. Not on this platform.
But yes.
अलग से बात करेंगे.
Yes.
Started
We are
2020.
together. We are together.
Yes,
So
So 2020 we started with the
Yes.
Science Festival and the National Workshop,
yeah.
and we are closing the year with an
And now
international.
we will do
Yes.
offline conference.
Yeah, we should.
करेंगे sir.
Hopefully, COVID goes away. So
So next year again we
Yeah.
meet together in offline mode.
कब होगा पता नहीं.
हो जाएगा.
Excellent.
And thank you so much, everybody.
Everybody.
Please.
Right,
And
everybody.
look forward to having another
Yes.
some occasion to meet again.
जी जी जी
soon.
बिल्कुल. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Good night.
everyone. Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Now it's time for the national anthem.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind.
Jai
Good
Hind.
night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Goodbye. Good night.
Good night,
Good
ma'am.
night. Good night, Trina. Congratulations once again. Thank you.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
Good
Bye.
night. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Lalit. Thank you, Devanshi. Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you, Amit. And of course, Priyanka, Jigni, Anuja.
Welcome, ma'am.
I have no words to thank them actually. They
Ma'am,
are the
you should
big
not, ma'am.
support.
You should not.
They are there. Then I don't worry actually. I just leave everything on them.
Yes, ma'am.
So,